Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast, hello, hello, hello. It is wonderful to be able to connect with you, to be able to say hi, what's happening, what's going on in your world, how you be, how you doing, all those good things. I just want to say, hey, um, give, give me up here. Oh, they're not in there. Okay. Never mind. Not close as I thought they were. Okay. Thought I was getting me a pair of earrings really close, but clearly I done put them somewhere else. So it's all good. It's all good. We will be naked on the ears today. But for those of you who will be live, that's a wonderful thing. Let's play, y'all. Let's play, let's play, let's play. For those who will hashtag it and replay it, I appreciate that you're doing what you do when you do it, how it works for you. For those who will be on, and I don't know you on. Hey Erica, hey honey bun. For those who Oops, so good to see you, dear. For those of you who will be on and I don't know you on and may not never know you on, I can appreciate that you're doing what works for you. And for those who will be used by Papa at some point later down the road, you're going to let me know that this is a benefit for you. Yes, 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 and yes. Good morning, Devere L. Robinson. Happy Wednesday to you too, dear. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. What I do with those new earrings? Well, I could just put on one earring then. So, what's going on, y'all? What is happening? Today we're still talking about um, knowing, appreciating, valuing our part, right? Doing the part that is unique for us to do. So we're still talking about that. And uh, so we all have our own part, right? Our own unique part to do. And so it's important to be able to understand our part, value our part, treasure our part. And but we don't know how to do that if we don't know what our part is. So yesterday we did talk about looking at what our part is, and I'm trying to find something here. And mm, I get ideas when I get online, and then I go to looking for stuff that has me distracted while I'm talking to y'all. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think I found what I'm looking for. Do your part. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for do your part and know that life may or may not. So that's how we started this conversation. Do your part and know that life may or may not go in the same direction, but if we're doing our part, we're still going to benefit. We're still going to get towards what it is that we want, what we desire, what we need, what we hope for, so on and so forth. That's still going to happen. So do your part. Then we talked about what is it like to do your part? What is that like? And in order to really know that, you got to know what your part is, right? In order to really know what it's like to do your part, you got to know what your part is. Now, some of the ways that we know our part is simply by, answering some of these questions, right? Answering some of these questions. What do you enjoy doing? What do you most enjoy doing? What are you good at doing? What do people most compliment you for doing? What does the universe tend to reward you most for doing? What would you be doing even if you were not getting paid for it? So, those are some kind of questions that help us to kind of tap into, tune into, lean into that thing. And then it says, don't let other people or belief systems distract you from your true calling. In your heart, you know what feels good and what works, and that is your most reliable resource. In your heart, you know what feels good and what works. So that's what that author says. But so I invite you to consider those questions so that you can lean into the thing that works best for you. And once you discover it, beloved, treasure it. Treasure your part, right? It's imperative for you to treasure your part, because if we're not treasuring our part, then what we're really doing oftentimes is we're downplaying it. We don't value it to the degree that its worth is. We don't value it as our part, as our unique contribution. And when we don't do that, we don't get all of it, right? We don't get the full benefit. If there's something you don't appreciate, it doesn't appreciate, right? If you don't appreciate something, if you don't lean into its full value, if you don't recognize its full value, you don't get the full benefit out of it. You don't get the full benefit. You can't, because it can't blossom with you, right? It's not blossoming. It's not getting the full. Erica Horn, good morning, Queen. Yeah, it's not getting the fullness of it. So treasure your part. What's your part, beloved? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you treasure it? On a scale of 1 to 10, what degree do you treasure it? And wherever you find yourself, up a notch, take it up a notch. How do you, and then what's your evidence for that you treasure it? What's your part, and how do you treasure it? And what's your evidence for treasuring it? Right? What is your evidence? You got to treasure your part. You've got to be kind to your part. You've got to be considerate to your part. You've got to be intentional about your part. You've got to build the muscles, strengthen it, all of those kinds of things. You got to do your part for your part. You got to do your part for your part. Do you see, beloved? So what's your part? What is your part? What is your contribution to the universe? What is your contribution? How do you advance the kingdom? What is your unique contribution? All of us have something. Y'all know I say this all the time. We all have something to add to the universe. We all have something to add. No contribution, one contribution is alike. Every contribution in some way or another is unique and different. Good morning, Christopher. Hey, my brother. So good to see you. Hi, Lena. Welcome back. Good to see you, dear. I love you back, Christopher. And so Erica said, I so value relationships. I feel like I am so blessed to have so many people in my life that feels the gap of those who are not. My job is to help others see the light. I'm not selfish. I love showing love. I love that. Thank you, Erica. Thank you for knowing your part and for doing your part. And yeah, that's one of the things. So if you think about it, so often in life, we've used our precious moments being upset with those who are not. Whatever it is, they're not. It doesn't matter. Fill in the blanks. Those who are not. And sometimes that's to the neglect of those who are. Sometimes it's to the absence of appreciation of those who aren't. Because if we're so busy focusing on those who aren't, we really can't appreciate. We don't leverage those who are. And so at a certain point in my life, I learned to appreciate and to focus on those who are. So those who do show up, those who do, right? And so then we're going to have a good time, because everybody have their own reason for not. Everyone has their own reason. Everyone has their own reason. And so with that, beloved, we've got to let people do what they do. You see? And so the energy that we use focusing on those who aren't is challenging. Devira said, can you give an example of treasuring our part? Yes. Okay. So my part is adding more love into the world. And since I know that that's my part, I have to add more love into me in order to add more love into the world. But this is what I meant more so about treasuring it. is sometimes we look at our part and we think that it's not that significant, it's not that important, it's not that big, and we'll compare our part. Well, I only do this. Excuse me, that's belittling your part. Well, my part is just like anytime we put a just, I just do self-love coaching. Oh, I just have a television show. I just have a small television show. Oh, I just, lead a wonderful group of women 2 Saturdays a month. Anytime we belittle, we're not treasuring, right? And if we're not building the muscle, we're not treasuring. If we're not caring for it, nurturing it, developing it, milking it for everything that it is, we're not treasuring. So in my waking meditative state, like I needed something from Papa because I need some help again, right? With this whole eating weight thing. I'm like, okay, here we go again. And so I was like, and so in my waking, he was like, 10 times better, Catherine. You 10 times better. So my focus now is going to be on 10 times better. Don't sell myself short. 10 times better, like up your anointing, up your engagement, up your focus, up your attention, up it. 10 times better is what came to me. And so treasuring my part is leaning into it, giving it everything that I can give it, not selling it short, not being lazy about it, but 10 times bettering it. And we don't, whenever we look at somebody else's way in which they do and they show up, we're not treasuring ours. We're comparing ours to theirs, and then ours don't get the just due that belongs to it. So that's really what I mean by it is recognize what you bring to the table and recognize the value of it, the uniqueness of it, that no one in the universe can bring what you bring. And then treasure that, honor that, value that, celebrate that, champion that. You know how it is when we treasure something, the thing that's precious to us, we care for it, we tend to it, we speak to it, we love on it. That's what I mean. Margie, cousin, welcome. Morning to you. Well, waking up to this is a blessing. Thanks for all you do, cuz the words. Love you. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. I really appreciate those words and its value to me. Judith. Hey, Judith. Welcome. Letitia Wright is in the house. Hey, Tisha. Hey, hey, hey. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So treasure your part. Thank you for that question, Devera. Because sometimes, I just get going in my stuff and don't realize that there needs to be a further explanation of what we're talking about, a further explanation. So treasure your part. Treasure your part. So what's your part? What is your part? What is the part that you're doing? And make sure that you bring value to it. So you got to get clarity on what it is. You got to know where you're going. And so y'all know I have evolved over these last 2-3 years. I've come from all different kind of titles and names and trying to figure this thing out, like how do I fit here and what's my way, what's my unique. And one of the things is I have to move to the beat of my own drum. Like I've been doing it all my life. I just didn't really know it because of scarcity. I was, I looked for the rules and I looked how to stay safe in a sense of follow the rules and things will work out. But not realizing, because I was so focused on what's the right thing to do, not realizing that even when I focused on the right thing to do, I still would recreate it or reshape it to be very unique to who I am. And so, at some point I discovered, girl, something about you that's different. You move to the beat of your own drum. You really are. And my husband did tell me I'm eccentric. He told me, he said, you are eccentric. You are like, first I was like, no, I'm not. But then, I understand eccentricity is actually a blessing. And if you want to study people who are eccentric, they live longer than those of us who care about what other people think about us, right? They live much longer because they don't really care. They don't really care. They wear whatever they want to wear. They eat what they want to eat. They go where they want to go. They do what they want to do. And they okay with people who not okay with them, right? And so over the last 3 years, I really have gone through so much evolution, and I'm okay with jumping off of jumping off of this pad to this pad to this pad, because I'm treasuring my parts. My part is to really, and so now, right, I've got clarity, right? So if we go back and look at all the different things that I've kind of parked in, and then I got to get out of park and like go down the road, get some, go park again. I love that. I love that I've given myself permission to do that, that I feel free enough to evolve in person, that I'm not stuck to a brand. The things that are stuck, the things that work are the hearts and the color, the shades of blue. Those work. And the word love, self-love. Like those are the staples. Those haven't, self-love has been it. And the color blue has been it from the beginning of self-love. The hearts, I think they developed over time. I got to look at my early stuff. But those are the staples. Now, these titles, they keep evolving and developing. And it's funny to me because branding people, like I would get on that. I do get on a lot of people's nerves who have rules and regulations about the way things are supposed to be. I rack their nerves. I do, because I don't really care about that stuff. And if I'm feeling forced into it, it don't work out well. And so I just learned that about myself. Even more so, I'm reminded that I need the freedom to move to the beat of my own drum. And amazing things happen when I give myself the freedom to do it. And sometimes some things get messed up because I go against the rules, right? I go against the rules, and in going against the rules, sometimes the rules are there to help us along the way. But if it doesn't feel right to me, I'm not going, I might do it initially because I don't know any better. I'd be flowing in a little bit of fear at the time when scarcity was. I stayed in something way too long, or maybe not way too long. I don't know, but I was there and afraid and, doing some stuff that really didn't feel right to me. And I didn't know any better. Then once I learned, grew, and all of that kind of thing. And then here I am, midwife for the soul, or soul midwife. That's what I'm playing with now. That's what feels most right. I still am a self-love transformational coach and a freedom conductor. That's still, I love that. I love that. So I'm going to always that. But I think all of it can fall up under a midwife for the soul. A midwife for the soul. Adding more love into the world. Adding more love into the world. Right? My life's intent that every soul would know love and know that they are loved. Those things have evolved and they feel right for me. Those are my parts. Those are my parts. What's your part? What's your part, beloved? Like, own it, treasure it, walk it out, let it evolve. Be okay with people not understanding and people not getting you. It's okay. We all have our own journey. We don't have to fight about it. We don't. We can give each other permission to go in our own directions and do what we need to do. It's okay. I don't want to be stuck on what other people think that I might miss my blessing. I have to be okay with myself and my choices. Thank you for showing us that we have to be okay with ourselves. We have to be. We have to be. And we don't shrink at our triumphs or at our challenges, right? We don't shrink. So when we have a triumph from moving to the beat of our own drum, we celebrate that all out loud. And when we have a fall down, a challenge, a hiccup from going to the beat of our own drums, we talk about that in openness too, right? We talk about it in openness too. Like, it just don't benefit us to be living in secret and masking, hiding. Now, the other thing is everybody don't get to know everything because everybody haven't earned the right. That's the thing. Everybody haven't earned the right. Like everybody haven't earned the right to walk up in your room and go into your house and go into your bedroom or go into your kitchen or even use your bathroom. Everybody hasn't earned the right. So, you don't share everything with everybody because everybody is, haven't earned the right. But at the same time, I'm not going to be in secret. I'm not going to be hiding my stuff because that is not the life to live. Because if we're hiding and if we're shrinking down, if we're pretending to be other than we are not, that's because we're concerned about what other people think about us and what will be the impact of them thinking something different. And let me tell y'all, whenever we try to change people's thought about us, that's manipulation. That's manipulation. If I am trying to change your opinion of me, I am manipulating. I am using manipulation. Now, if I just show up, like if I say something specifically so that you can think of me in a different way, that's manipulation. If I show up in a particular way, if I shift something, that's all manipulation. None of that feels good to me. But don't say this, say that. Like marketing people, I'm not calling them out or anything, but it's a part of their thing. Like a lot of that don't feel good to me. Well, you need to show up this way and show up. There was a picture, the something bureau where he was, a guy and a girl was trying to get together, and they were trying to stop them, and he was running for president or governor or somebody, and they told him, wear a red tie for this because this would do that to these people. Wear a blue tie. Make sure your shoes are not too shiny for this people and this, that. It's all manipulation. I don't like it. I have said this a lot this year. Getting to know me is a privilege and not everyone gets. I'm so glad I can feel that way now. Oh, Lena, that's good. That's good. Not everyone, it is a privilege and not everyone gets it. I love that. Your treasure is hidden when you get stuck on what other people think about us. Protect your treasure. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's some good ones, y'all. It's some good ones that we discussing here at the end of the broadcast. I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't get stuck. Like Erica said, be okay with your stuff. Like getting to know us is a privilege. It is. And not everyone has the privilege. And we just don't even have the space for everyone to have the privilege either. And your treasure is hidden when you are stuck on what other people think. I love you all. I do. And I'm grateful for our time together. I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to come together and to share our nuggets. All of us have something to share. All of us have unique contributions and unique ways of showing up in the earth. And somebody needs it. Somebody needs it in different ways, in the different ways that you show up, in the different ways that you share, in the different ways that you help others to love themselves well. It's needed. So stay on the journey, y'all. Stay on the journey. At the moment that Abba gave us our breath, you know what we did? We forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I, we don't have the right to not be amazing. We just simply don't. And so, gonna do it. Gonna be amazing. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye for now. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you for the love, Devira L. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, the broadcast not ending.